Good evening, Glenn Douglas, Town Underground. Another video. This one is based off of some things that came out on Monday night, at Monday night's town council meeting. Thought I needed to do a little bit of background on this one, kind of explain where it came from or appears to have come from on Monday night. There was a resident who is not happy with the current Londonderry fire chief that was hired several months ago. I'll be playing the video from the town council meeting after this. The video has been edited to only include comments made by residents or the town manager or town councilors about the fire chief and this one specific topic. A few weeks ago, on July 8th, a satire website in town that's completely anonymous, claims to be satire, yet only seems to direct negative satire toward a few town councilors and the town manager, posted some videos from the town of Orange in Massachusetts. That's where our fire chief was formerly working. I believe that's where he grew up. And the gist of the video was Orange hasn't been able to find a fire chief. The fire chief volunteered to stay on as the interim fire chief in Orange while working in Londonderry. He specifically said that he could not do anything in Orange that would interfere with his duties in Londonderry, and therefore could only commit to doing nights and weekends. So a little bit of background on this. That video was posted on that satire site. It was shared by another Facebook page, John Farrell, Londonderry First Facebook page, which is run by John Farrell, former Londonderry town councilor. And people started commenting and said, this is a problem and this and that. I had commented on the satire site and said, I don't really understand why this is an issue. We had a police chief several years ago that was a prosecutor for other towns while he was the police chief for Londonderry. He was prosecuting cases during the workday for other towns, and this seemed to be a similar situation, with the exception that the police chief was prosecuting cases during the day, and the fire chief said he could only work at night so as not to interfere with his daily duties. I was then told that I was aware of these videos and have been aware of these videos for a while, and was questioned why it was that I didn't post them and, quote, was covering up for this issue. The phrase, the cover up is worse than the crime, was used by Mr. Farrell. I do not understand what crime could possibly have been committed here, but that was the term that was used. I responded and said, I have not received any of the videos that were posted on this particular site. I did, however, receive other videos that were snips of some of the videos that were posted from Orange. Those particular videos were posted on a YouTube channel called Londonderry NH. Londonderry NH was the YouTube channel that was used by a now defunct online news paper called the Londonderry Online News. It was run by Kathy Wagner, who was a former town councilor, and Steve Young, who was a school board member for quite a number of years. So I thought it was interesting that those videos showed up online. They were posted, I believe, the end of June, before the Londonderry Blunderground posted their video. There were 3 video clips posted. I responded and said, listen, I get asked to post a lot of stuff. I honestly don't have time to follow this stuff. I certainly do not have time to follow what's going on in Orange, Massachusetts, when we have plenty of things in Londonderry to cover. So I responded and said, I will respond the same way I have responded to everyone else that asks me to post things. If it's something small, you can tell me when it happened on a video in Londonderry. I'll snip it up, maybe write something up if I can. If not, you are more than welcome to do your own research, put in all the details. You can write it up. I will post it on my website under your name. You take full responsibility for any of the content in there. I will not post something unless I can research everything, and I do not have time nor much interest to watch videos of selectmen's meetings in Orange that could take hours to go through. You can't just post on one snippet. You need to watch the whole video and make sure something didn't come up at the end of the meeting that affect what happened at the beginning of the meeting. Mr. Farrell chose not to accept my offer. He was not interested, apparently, in writing anything up, publishing it on my website, which is fine. I really don't have a problem with that. What I do have a problem with is what is now going on. After Monday's meeting, there's been a couple of video clips posted on this site. The latest one was posted today. It was the initial public comment and the complaints that were lodged against the fire chief. Interestingly, that's all that was posted. The response from the town manager was not posted. The comments from a resident were not posted. Comments from several town councilors were not posted. I was accused of covering it up, but the site that specializes in satire, not so much anymore, has decided they're only going to put one part of the equation on the paper. Anyway, the videos are going to air shortly after this. Your comments, again, I do not think this is an issue. Personally, I think the fire chief is trying to help out his old town where he grew up. He was there for a really long time in the fire department. He's trying to help out the guys on his team. He's filling in while he's looking to move to Londonderry, which is my understanding. He is planning on moving to Londonderry, but sometimes it takes a little bit of time. Anyway, the videos are up next. You can leave a comment either on the website, Facebook page, or the YouTube channel. And again, this is Glenn Douglas, TownUndeground.com. And that's all I have for now. Thank you.
Good evening, Richard.
Good evening. Richard Bielinski, 89 Hall Road. I want to talk about something tonight that I'm sure has already gone around since this afternoon, because I see people here that are not normally here. I'll leave it at that. But there's 3 positions in this town that I find and believe are 24/7, 365 positions. Town manager, police chief, fire chief. I made it clear back when the new fire chief was hired that I didn't think the way the Leah contract was changed by the town manager was right. It was voted on a contract agreement that was done. The people voted it in, and on day 2 of that contract, it was changed by the town manager. To me, that shows no respect for the taxpayers, the voters of this town, to do that when they voted it in, when he changed it. And what was done is the pay scale was changed for the first year from like 150,000 to 165. I may be off a few bucks. And the new fire chief was paid every penny of that. So basically he got a $15,000 raise before he even started. Why do I have a problem with that? 1, the disrespect for the taxpayers. And 2, when is he going to make and I know he's here tonight and he can speak for himself, but when is he going to make the commitment to this town? I got the minutes and the videos from the select board meetings in Orange, Mass. It's quite clear that he has dedicated nights and weekends to the town of Orange. So that means us as the primary employer are getting Monday through Friday, according to what he said in the video. That's nothing I said. I don't find that right. When is he gonna move up here? We know that was the intent because there's a $10,000 moving stipend, or whatever you want to call it, built into the letter of agreement. And it was said that they were looking forward to moving here. I went on the MLS and Zillow and a couple others. The house has never been listed yet. It's been 6 months. At one of their meetings, I forget the exact date down there, it was said that the interim chief down there, our chief, was going to stay on until such time as they hired somebody. That's what was said, not my words. They just voted July 1st to put another search committee together to look for a new chief. So what does that mean? That he's going to be up here in 6 months, a year? We're going to extend the use of a town vehicle for past the year that that it's already been assigned to him for at our liability? We had a town manager that wanted to do that at one time, Dave Karen, and they said no because of the liability factor. He was given a travel stipend instead. Don't agree with that either. You want to work here, that's up to you to get here. And I know there's going to be 1,000,001 excuses why this was done. But even their board of selectmen, and I guess they're going to a charter, they mentioned that, the lady that's on that board asked if she wasn't sure she was okay with the hours he could commit down there. The nights and weekends, as he stated. But they went along with it. So we're basically getting days. Is that what we're paying $165,000 for? $15,000 over what the Leah contract was? You wonder why there's problems in this town? Because there's no regard for what the voters voted in this town. I had a conversation with our town manager before he started here. Told me he was going to be open, transparent. Does this board remember in, I think it was February, I asked where the $131,000 came from for the positions that were adjusted? I want to know the line items and how much. I haven't got an answer to that yet. I asked about the taxpayers' credit. Who's the one who decided not to do it after this board voted for it to be effective August 1st of last year? I was told nobody made a decision. Well, obviously somebody made a decision. It wasn't done by osmosis. And I had 3 or 4 other that I won't go into because it would take too long. I want to know when we're going to get a commitment, a full-time commitment from our fire chief. All right? If something goes wrong in this town, I want them available. He's an hour and a half away. It's like 80 miles, roughly. So, like some answers, although, quite frankly, I don't expect we'll get any.
Thank you, Richard.
And you can stop with the smirk.
Oh, you're the one that has a smirk, sir.
And here's something I'm going to do that's going to shock everybody. Richard, don't fall out of your chair. Richard Bielinski's right. And when a man's right, he's right. Richard and I have not agreed about things over the years, but he's right about things. He's been coming up here for months, and I've been asking questions. Nobody answers. You know what? He's right. It's about being truthful. You know what? You can work through any issue. The fire chief thing, the town of Orange knew all about it. He's probably a great guy. Why didn't we just tell the truth? Why don't we tell the truth about all this stuff? Because that's what it's about. Simply tell the truth, because we're not doing anything overly amazing here.
Chair, I just have a couple of things I need to respond to the attack on my fire chief first.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. So I just want to thank Chief Young for being willing to come here. Sometimes we have a toxic political environment here in Londonderry, unfortunately for some people, but the vast majority of the people live there, 27,000 people live here, are not like that. So I have to apologize to you for that. But I also want to thank you for the good job that you have done in providing leadership in our fire department and turning in the direction we wanted to go in, and building on the work of the last 2 fire chiefs and the people that work there every day. Our fire department gets stronger and stronger every day, and thank you for providing that leadership. I also want to say that I think it's interesting that it was brought out that Orange can't seem to find a fire chief, because we know how difficult it is to do that, which is why we need to pay the salaries we do so we can attract people and keep them. And when it comes to dedication to the community, you have demonstrated how you're dedicated to your old community, because you're still willing to serve them and help them until they can find a chief by working evenings and Saturdays and not interfering with your job here. So thank you for that as well.
All right. I will open public comment. Good evening, sir.
How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good, thank you. My name is John Grennan. I'm at 14 Jewel Court here in town. Before I start, I thank you to the five of you, and I thank you to the two folks over here for the immense amount of work that you do that goes unrecognized. It's countless hours. I'm here because tonight I was driving home, and I saw the union leader over the weekend, and I was not home before 7, so I tuned into the YouTube channel because I figured there'd be some theater and public comment about the articles. And I think Mr. Farrell, I know, came up here with the article from the union leader, and then the other article, which was wonderful, about the fabric of this town. And during public comment, I heard somebody come up and take a shot at the fire chief. Now, I don't know the fire chief, but as a resident of this town, I lived through the animal house environment that took place under the previous town manager, the embarrassment that it was to this community, with our fire chief stepping down. It was an embarrassment. So every time we open up the newspaper, we continue to see something, and that's the business of government. I don't question anybody on the business of government. That's not my role, and I won't do it. However, we're damn lucky that we got this fire chief, okay? And for anybody to come up here after what occurred, I wouldn't have applied for this job. I don't know, who in public safety would, after what occurred here and the lack of support that occurred for the last fire chief and the previous town manager's behavior and what occurred here? None of the current administration. And then he has to sit here in this meeting until some ungodly hour, and people are going to come up and they're going to question what he does on the weekends. So as a resident, and I think a pretty well-informed resident when it comes to public safety, we have a phenomenal fire department. I think you know that. We have a phenomenal police department, and I think you know that. And I think the town manager, his management of the police chief and the fire chief has been second to none. But when the fire chief is not here, we have a phenomenal deputy chief. And the police department is a phenomenal second in command. And when they're not here, we've got a phenomenal captain or 4 phenomenal battalion chiefs at the fire department. And when they're not around, we've got phenomenal lieutenants and paramedics. And this is petty. Do not, I implore you, do not let this board or anybody in this room turn around and not support this guy who's sitting in this room right now. I don't know him. He's not from here. We're both from Mass, but he's from the western part and I'm from Boston. Don't know him. But I'll be honest with you, I don't know how he sat there when he heard it. So if people have to be here all the time and work 24/7, and I mean, can he have a drink at a wedding? Can he leave the state and not be on call? This is ridiculous. This is not New York City. This is not Boston. This is ridiculous. We have incredibly talented public safety providers here on the police department. We have the best police department and best fire department in the state of New Hampshire, bar none. And we have the 2 best chiefs in the state of New Hampshire, bar none. Please, if there is any unifying issue for the 5 of you, because those have been hard to come by, it's tomorrow, the 5 of you coming out and supporting or refuting comments that were made here tonight, questioning this man's intent, what he does on the weekend, something. It shouldn't have happened. And Dan, your experience will tell you, if you feel as though the governing body doesn't support the chief, how does the rank and file feel? It's just a cancer, and it will run through it. And I know you support the rank and file. I know that. The ambulances are being provided, and fire trucks are being provided, and the town manager certainly supports them. And his comments at the end of that public comment session were truthful and inspiring. You guys should do the same. You should do the same. You have a fire chief who came here, and he's not making enough money. His department is understaffed according to NFPA standards in every way, shape, or form. You got a call volume going up, and his guys and girls are getting the hell beat out of them 24/7. Maybe we'll have 10 urgent cares here next. Why not? Let's have 15. What are we up to, 4 ambulances now? Let's buy 6. Because I'll tell you this, one of my concerns living where I live is that I'm going to need an ambulance at some point, and the best paramedics in the state of New Hampshire will not be available because they're hauling somebody for the Elliott or for Convenient MD, or they're up on 93 North between 4 and 5, which appears to have become a racetrack. Yep. And Litchfield Fire is going to come. But wait, they're not there. So maybe Hudson will come. Maybe I'd be better off calling, I don't know, Lowell. This can't happen, guys and girl. So I'm just asking you as a resident, because I know the hours you put in, and I know the hours the two of you put in, and I'm so grateful as a resident. This is a unifying issue, but it is Bush League for somebody to come up here on a guy that took a job 4 months ago, leading a department that works their rear ends off for us 24/7 and doesn't get the credit they deserve and doesn't get the money they deserve. It is Bush League for somebody up here to make that an issue of what somebody's doing on the weekends, because they're a good citizen where they live. And that's it. And I heard it on the way here, so I came here. My son's sitting with me. Came here because I thought it was important, and I wanted you to know that. And I will end with this. Thank you to the 5 of you for your effort, and thank you for your effort, and your comments tonight were spot on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to address Mr. Grennan, please.
Can we finish public comment first?
No, I want to address him, his comments with the fire chief. I will tell you that when our fire chief came here in Londonderry, I went to the fire department and I met with him. I don't know if any of you have, because I had a concern. All right, when I was a junior in high school, I moved from northern Maine down to Gardner, Mass. It was a shock when I heard he had a son who was going into his senior year. I went in, I talked to him about that, family and everything. And I have to tell you, the man is amazing. To say that, he cares about his family, he's doing what's best for his family, his son, and he's doing what's best for this community. All right? He's helping this community. He's doing his job in this community. Anytime I've gone in and talked to him about fire stations or anything like that, the man is amazing. Right. So does he have my support, Mr. Grennan? Absolutely. 100%.
Dan, let's continue public comment. Anybody else with public comment? Seeing none, I will close public comment. Did you want to say something before?
Yeah, I did real quick,
Good.
if you don't mind. When I first saw all of this fire stuff, because I wasn't here when whoever got up and talked, I don't even know what was said. When I first saw all of this stuff going on online, my heart broke. And the fire chief will attest to this. I reached out to him. I felt so bad and so embarrassed as a citizen and a resident and as an official of this town. I felt mortified for the man. You shouldn't do that. It shouldn't be done like that. It shouldn't be done at that at all. It was so embarrassing. And I reached out to him to apologize because I just thought it was such bad behavior. And I still apologize to you, sir. I'm sorry.
I will accept the motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second from all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes in the affirmative. Thank you everyone for your time tonight.